Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CADS. After the night that was the Nottingham Forest game, a 3-1 win for Spurs, lifting the hearts of many, and what a thumping goal from Micky van der Ven. Let's get into it. Let's talk. We've got three CADS with me tonight. We're going to start with David. How you doing?
Hey there, good, thanks.
Austin.
Evening all.
And Ashley, as always.
I've got a song. Hey, Micky, you're so fine, you blow our mind. Hey, Micky.
He nearly blew the back of the net off with that shot, I have to say.
Yeah, well, Dave, could you actually see it? Were you in the South End?
I was in the I was on the west, pretty high up. I had an absolutely fantastic view of it, and yeah, did I see it? Yeah, it was absolutely sensational.
It was sensational from your view, yeah.
Oh yeah, really.
Because I watched it like 10 times, and I'm like, holy jeez.
Yeah.
Was that your first time at the stadium, David?
I went to the stadium a couple of years ago to do the visit. Did the roof walk.
Yes.
And my son did the dare, you know, when they drop you off the side. Well, he was attached. But I went to White Hart Lane quite often. But
which is why you got to go with him again this time.
Yeah, it's my first time in the new stadium, and it's just an amazing place. It's an amazing place. High up on the west side, you have an amazing view, but the atmosphere is not great up there. It was very quiet around me. I was having a bit of a sing-song, and then realizing I was the only one having the sing-song for all around me, so quickly shut up. And I saw a couple of people saying that the atmosphere wasn't very good. And yeah, I think it's really good if you're in the
South Stand.
South Stand. I think it must be really fantastic. There were too many very, very quiet people just not supporting the team the way I thought it should be.
Well done, our chaps. Well done. The opposition were really good today, weren't they?
Yeah, it was a little bit polite. Yeah, I think there were some prawn sandwiches being eaten around me.
Well, even on the telly, it sounded when we weren't playing so well that everyone, after they got the equalizer, everyone sort of hushed down quite a bit, you know.
Yeah.
And then once it came back in the second half, you know.
Yeah, and you could hear the Forest fans singing "This Is a Library."
Yeah, the Forest fans were really loud. I mean, I was kind of opposite the not opposite, but like the away end was like acoustically projecting towards us. So and whereas the South Stand wasn't. So I couldn't tell whether it was like a fairly quiet atmosphere, but it certainly felt it. Like I said, there's just too many people. Just sort of, they could be watching it at home, to be honest. Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective. Yeah, so the South Stand is somewhat unique in its noise and its appreciation and things like that. And you know what's also fascinating, and I've mentioned this before, is that we must choose to go to the North Stand in the first half, because so many games we're aiming, shooting, scoring in the South Stand in the second half, which happened, of course, again yesterday. Yeah.
Well, the other thing that happened yesterday, I believe, was our first game first goal in the first half of a match since February. Is that right? That sounds.
No, didn't we get one in the first half last week? Or
don't think so.
Oh, maybe at home.
Maybe at home, I think.
Yeah,
it's been a difficult run of scoring goals.
Anyway, it wasn't us that scored.
That's very true. Yeah.
So what's the general feel about the game and the result?
I watched the second half in its entirety this afternoon, because I thought I may have had a couple of drinks yesterday when I watched the match live, so my memory might not have been as clear as it might have been. So I watched the second half live again this afternoon, and I thought we played some of the best football I've seen for a long time. I thought Werner was superb. I thought Johnson was superb. Højbjerg, when he came on, was absolutely brilliant. He then had about a 10-minute spell later in the second half where he was dreadful and couldn't do anything right.
God. Yeah, when he was doing hospital passes, yeah, that was really scary.
But some of the football we played, I thought was fantastic. And we dominated, we controlled, and the midfield was good. Bentancur was good. The fullbacks were pretty solid, and the 2 goals we scored were absolutely blinding finishes.
Fantastic.
I really enjoyed watching the second half. Obviously, I knew the result, and it's different when you don't know the result. You don't know what's going to unfold later in the game when you're watching it live. But knowing the result and watching the second half, I really, really enjoyed our performance.
Yeah, it's a lot calmer when you know we've won the game and you're not watching it.
Well, especially when you've had 60+ years of being a fan and knowing, oh, fuck, the worst could happen. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, oh, blimey, the worst could happen. And very often it has. But no, I really enjoyed watching the game live, or sort of the second half in its entirety this afternoon. It was brilliant.
It was a very, very enjoyable game in many ways. I thought Nottingham Forest contributed to that by not dropping deep all the time. I mean, there was a period where they were trying the low block, but it just didn't work for them. And they had to push out and try and get something out of the game, which just opened things up and made things better for us. So, yeah, that was nice.
They were lucky to finish the game with 11 men. They should have finished the game with 9 men.
Yeah.
Certainly should have been down to 10. When Yates was down, it was on a yellow card, and then he asked for VAR to be reviewed. I mean, it's a bookable offence. I mean, they were talking about it on the TV. And they're saying it's a bookable offence. It's a bookable offence, and yet the ref just completely ignored it.
He was lucky to still be on the pitch then.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing as you, Austin. I'd hate to see someone sent off for asking for a VAR review, which happens like all the time. But he did that. He was absolutely kicking Madders absolutely all over the pitch all day, and I couldn't believe he was getting away with it, to be honest.
He's worse than Matty Cash, and I hate Matty Cash. He's a horrible piece of work.
Twatty Cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking of you and Matty Cash, and then I thought, okay, there's that also that other guy Mope, who's a real jerk, and then Yates is up there. Yeah, he's up there. He's up there with them. That's for sure. What did it look like when the second half? But you have a different perspective, David, looking down. What did Bentancur and Højbjerg? What did they change or contribute, or what in the second half to change it up?
I thought it was just much faster moving the ball, much more enterprising with their passes. I think those are the 2 main things. Actually, I've got to be honest. I thought just go back to the match. The first 20 minutes, I thought we were really good. First 20 minutes, and there's been a bit of a theme for Tottenham all season, is that we have like a up to our first goal, or for the first 20-minute, we're really, really good, and then just the wind just goes out of the sails, and it goes bad. I mean, we were really good the first 20 minutes. Yves Bissouma, I thought was really good during those first 20 minutes.
He was back to his best, I thought, in the first 20 minutes.
And I was really happy seeing him shoot from distance, because when I saw it, I was thinking, that's something that when a team plays the low block, if they have to worry about the player on the edge of the penalty area having a crack, then they have to come out to him. Because we haven't been having a crack. They've been able to sit deep, and they're not getting worried by long shots. And Yves Bissouma had a couple of pretty decent efforts from distance. And our the two goals that we scored were actually from a distance as well. And I'm quite happy to see that coming back. But which wasn't at all the question that you asked, Ashley. So I'll just go back to it and just say I really think that Bentancur and Højbjerg, especially Højbjerg, really dynamised things by being much more progressive with the passing and moving things much faster.
Also, funnily enough, when Højbjerg came on, I watched him very closely, and he was very good at anticipating where the ball was going to go. He was proactive. He was moving into space, anticipating where the ball was going to be able to be picked up, and he did that a number of times. It was the best I think I've seen him play for quite some time.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think he wasn't too bad in the last match for some of it as well. I think he's like working his way back to something like form, which is more than could be said for Sonny, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Sonny was quiet yesterday, and when he got the ball, it was in ineffective areas, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the post, and it was a good save from that keeper. If I haven't seen it again, but like live, it's really good.
That was a terrific save, David. It really was.
But what's frustrating is Sonny, when he's on, basically, Sonny, if he's not scoring or assisting, then he's not really contributing all that much, to be honest. I saw someone saying that he creates space with his runs and things like that. I think that sounds nice, but I think bullshit. He's not contributing enough. And there's something about Sonny lately. Sonny of old takes shots on like immediately without thinking. And he's thinking he's taking a touch and then he's getting closed down. He's not instantly shooting like he used to. So he was the only disappointment of the afternoon, to be honest.
He did get an assist.
Yeah, true. But well,
I wanted to talk about that shooting situation. For instance, we don't see, well, he didn't start. We don't see Decky doing that anymore.
No.
Back to Sonny. Remember, he would cut in from the left. Harry used to do that as well, and then curl those shots. He's not doing that. Okay, now here's a question.
No, he is, but he's doing it in Germany now, so it's not.
no, Decky and Sonny aren't. Yeah,
Decky. Yeah.
No, so my thing is, and I'm wondering if Ange is being, I don't know, he squirms a lot in the press conferences, if he's being disingenuous, because he got upset when somebody, it might have been Alistair Gold, said something to someone else, something to the effect of, well, with the low block, why don't we shoot more? And he sort of harumphed and said, oh, well, you think I told them not to shoot? You know? And then Austin made a point during practice this last week that we were shooting. He saw a clip. And then yesterday we were shooting more. So he went from saying, well, what, taking offense to somebody asking, well, another way to break down the low block is to shoot from distance. He took offense to that. And then, sure enough, he actually implemented it or told the players, hey, have a crack. And it actually helped us. And we got one of the best goals we've seen in a long time from Van de Ven. So he's very disingenuous about that. The other thing I have about him is that he started his interview, and I don't know if this is his character, or he just doesn't like doing interviews inside. He doesn't like to be countermanded. He said, I could care less about the top four and what position and what's going on. That has to be such BS. There's just the players, the fans certainly do. The players certainly do. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that. What's he trying to do by saying that? You know,
I think the point is what he's trying to do is not say he wants to get into the Champions League and that's our goal. I think he's saying my goal is much higher than that. I want to win things, and
yeah, I know that.
I want to get to the point where our teams are competitive in competitions.
Yeah, I know that.
So many people, but there's such a fixation on getting into the top four.
So that's the be all and end all, and it's not.
Yeah, and it's not as far as he's concerned.
No, I think it makes a huge difference playing in Europe, first of all. And then second of all, perhaps being in the Champions League in terms of the money you make. You know how much money we made in that Champions League run to the final? I think it was something like 85 million pounds. You know, it makes a difference how much money you make, and it makes a difference in the type of player you can attract. So there is, yes, I understand what you're saying, Oz, and I totally agree with that. Why just trying for top four every year? Try to actually win the thing. Yes, I get that. But right now, actually, it would make a difference if we first of all finished in Europe, which we probably are going to anyway, and then second of all, being in the Champions League, it'll make us better to be playing against better teams. There is advantages to be had by getting into the top four.
Oh, he has addressed both of those points in press conferences over the last week. So first one, the money, you know, you're saying, oh, it brings you more money. He said, I'm not responsible for the bottom line of his football club. It's not my position. It's not my situation. I'm responsible for the football club, the team, that goes out and the performance they put in. I'm responsible for the results. I'm not responsible for how much money is brought in by appearing in UEFA competitions. In terms of better players, he said, I don't want players that just want to come here to play Champions League football. They've got to be of the right mentality. They've got to have the right character. And he said, we bought Micky van der Ven last year. We didn't have Champions League football. Do you think he was a bad purchase? And I think that is exactly right. He's looking for players who fit into the right kind of profile, the right kind of psyche, and will give him the kind of performances that he wants to see from them, regardless of whether they're in Champions League football or not. On the other hand, Maddison has come out today and said, yeah, we want to be playing Champions League football next season. And it would be a massive letdown if we're not.
Yeah.
But absolutely. That's my point.
So that's the player's point of view, but it's not the manager's point of view. The manager's point of view is...
Well, we're the fans and we pay.
Yeah.
And it's our point of view as well, you know?
And I'm pretty sure he would never say anything against our point of view. So wouldn't say that we're not entitled to our point of view, but that's his point of view and he's entitled to it as well.
I don't think for a minute he doesn't want to be in the Champions League. I think he absolutely wants to be in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But more importantly, what he wants is not for us to be concentrating on the Champions League. He wants us to be concentrating on winning things. And that, I think, is his overall mentality. And I actually really, really like his attitude towards it.
Yeah, but Oz, if we win every game, we're going to be in the Champions League. So it just behooves us to win. So that
but that's what he wants. He wants us winning every game.
Yes.
We win every game, we win the league, and that's exactly what the guy's aiming for. So
I mean, I think it's also expectations management and managing the pressure on the players.
Yeah. See, okay.
And then just finally, I mean, I've got to be honest. I go through this with almost every Spurs manager that we've ever had, which is fall in love. Well, I didn't fall in love with Conte or Mourinho, but if we just put a little bracket, or Sherwood, or AVB, okay. But it happens. Sometimes I like Spurs managers. Sometimes I like Spurs managers a lot when they arrive, and then after like a few months, I get bored with their press conferences and stop even bothering reading them because I just think it's all bullshit. I just think, you know, like for example, Ange. I think I've sussed him now. Basically, ask a question, I reply, your question is stupid and you haven't understood anything. And, you know, and that's fine. I love Ange, but, you know, I'm starting to love Ange.
This one you
but
like.
I just don't want to listen to him, to be honest. It's just all a bit the same, all a bit boring, to be honest. They never say anything that you can't read anything to anything they say.
They can't, can they? If you give away too much, then it's just going to get used against you in the game.
Yeah.
So what can they do?
Who used to? Harry Redknapp. He would spill the beans and say stuff. I remember him once saying about Benny. Remember Benny? And he said something to the effect of about apparently Benny doesn't even know which team we're playing. He just turns up to play. And isn't that a big problem? And then he said something to the effect of, well, yeah, it's a bit of a problem, but it's also a problem for the other team as well, you know? Because
I think even Harry, like, just saying stuff to have a laugh, it wasn't actually serious. He's just having a joke, you know.
Which is good, which is entertainment, which is why.
Yeah, it was entertainment. Of course, the Harry bashers always used it against him, you know. But
yeah. So Dave's point about trying to manage expectations might have answered it to me why he doesn't. You know, although earlier on, remember he said, "Well, the fans are when we were in first place." Well, why can't the fans dream about, he didn't say winning the title. Why can't I want the fans to dream? And now he sort of backed off from that. Could well be managing those expectations.
Well, as recently as 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was saying, why would we be aiming for fourth? Why do you not think we're in the title race still?
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah. I should quite enjoy winding my son up with that one as well.
Well, to be fair, we are more in the title race than Bayern Munich are, so that's a lovely position to be in.
Shocking, isn't it? It's unbelievable, really unbelievable.
Implosion.
Well, I don't know about that.
Furthermore, we are nearer the title than Manchester United are near to us.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Oh, that's I do like that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Manchester United, what's going on there? It's like they seem to pull performances out and be playing some very nice bits of football. And then they decide that we don't like doing that. We're going to throw it all away and put in some ranked performances. Oh,
I
dear me.
haven't watched 1 minute of Manchester United football, so I
agree.
can't say anything about them at all, except
Yeah.
ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
That's fine by
nice
me.
bit of Schadenfreude in there for you. I have to say, the one thing that really does interest me about Manchester United in comparison to Tottenham, and it is linked to Ange, is that Ange came in with a philosophy, and he stuck to that philosophy. And the reason why Manchester United went for Ten Hag was for his philosophy when he was at Ajax. And last season, he was quoted saying, "Oh yeah, but the stuff I did at Ajax, I'm not going to be doing here." So they employed a guy for what he'd done at a previous club in a style he'd done it, and then he said, "I'm not going to do it that way." I mean, it's no wonder they're struggling, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I have to say, I really wanted Ten Hag last year. He was the man I thought would be perfect for Spurs, and I'm actually now pleased that we didn't go for him.
Hey, let's talk about Micky. Hey, Micky, you blow my mind. Let's talk about Micky. And didn't he make a play in the first half where he beat the guy, he was behind the guy, he sped up, accelerated, beat the guy. And I think, Dave, you were there. I think the stadium gave him an applause just for
it was actually that passage of play. Nottingham Forest were attacking, and I think we saw the best of both our central defenders in a 20-second period, because Forest were trying to attack, and then QT came out and did one of his "I'm imposing myself on this situation," and just went out and did his sort of like scissor tackle completely. But the ball bounced free to a Forest player in quite a dangerous position, and then straight up. So you saw QT do his QT thing, and then because the ball bounced free advantageously to Nottingham Forest, you saw Micky van der Ven put the afterburners on and just go and like squash that immediately. It was sensational, and I was, with my son, and we were looking at each other going, "We've got two central defenders are absolutely phenomenal." And you were also just going on about how great Udogie is and things like that. And then I'm not sure how many minutes afterwards, they scored against us, and we were, you're going to have to bleep this, we were fucking useless for that goal.
And we were abysmal for that goal.
Infuriating. And I actually, because that's the disadvantage of watching it in the stadium, isn't it? You only see it once, and you kind of go, "Oh, that looked a bit poor. I wonder why." You don't really know why. What was Udogie just stopped tracking back?
Yeah,
he just like, and like after that goal, so I had a couple of minutes of introspection. I was going, okay, so we're always going, every week we're going on about how amazing Udogie is, we're going on about how amazing Van der Ven is, we're going on about how amazing QT is, and we are so fragile at the back. How can we have such fantastic talent and be
international defenders?
Yeah, and be so fragile. What's going? I was just wondering, has anyone got any analysis of why we're so incredibly fragile?
Well, by the way,
down to our midfield.
Yes.
There was a stat doing around last week.
We lose the ball in midfield or give the ball away from midfield.
Or don't track back. By the way, are you sure that was Udogie? Because Alistair Gold made a point.
It was
definitely
Udogie.
Udogie.
It was Udogie.
But Alistair Gold made a point that Basuma didn't track back, and he did that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but I think Basuma's a nice whipping boy that everyone's got on their lips. It was Udogie.
No, I like all our players.
It was Udogie. Elanga got away from him.
Yeah,
and Udogie just basically slowed down.
Yeah,
while Elanga just ran into the channel. He was the one that put the ball across.
But also, and getting back to Dave's point, I also thought Micky, who we love, he didn't have to go out to that player. He could have just backed off because the player wasn't near the box. He could have stayed back and let the player approach him. He went out and took himself out of that space. He did. So whomever said it was a cluster
bomb,
a team type breaking down, and maybe ours is right. I think it starts for international defenders. I think it starts right in front of them. We shouldn't even be allowing these opportunities to happen.
Every goal we concede stems in midfield, usually from a misplaced pass.
Yeah,
and I would say, I don't know because I haven't seen the stats, but I would say it's 100%. Nearly every goal that we concede from a misplaced pass in either their third or midfield.
But it won't be 100% because when we played the first game against West Ham, that was Udogie at his worst. So that was very much down to him. But there was a stat going around during the week that we have the second best defence in terms of restricting shots on goal in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, someone posted that on CADS.
So hang on, we're restricting the number of shots down to this stupidly low level. I think only Man City beat us, and yet still we're giving up a goal a game. So I mean, are the opposition being extremely effective, or are we just being extremely weak in those situations?
I think we're being overcritical, to be quite honest with you, because we're 11 points off the leaders, and we've got a better goal difference than Aston Villa, who are a place below us. So I think we are hypercritical because we're looking at games and think we shouldn't be doing that, we shouldn't be doing this, we shouldn't be doing. But in reality, we're actually not doing too badly.
No, that's true. And also, you know, losing the ball in midfield, like high up the pitch, I think I said somewhere on CADS, it's a feature, not a bug. You know, that is like you take the risk because you want to get the reward, and the risk is you're going to get a break against you and things like that. But I still feel like, well, okay, so part of it is that we're very vulnerable from corners, and we really need to work on that. But I also think that Udogie has a little tendency to switch off. I think, you know, Van der Ven and even Cutie, they've got mistakes in them. Porro a little bit too.
Don't forget Porro as well.
Porro a little bit too. Maybe it's because they're still like pretty young. So maybe it just needs a bit more maturing. I just wanted to you know, there were two things that I came into this that I wanted to make as points. One is what's happened to Sonny and why isn't he shooting anymore? Why has he lost his spontaneity? And the second is why are we so fragile? You know, because losing that goal, that was the catalyst that turned things against us. And once that goal went in, we were on the ropes for a while there. Like
I was very disappointed.
Down, you know,
once we conceded the goal, we just completely lost the impetus. We were on top.
Yeah,
and we were I think 79% of possession in the 15 minutes before that goal, and we had something like 20% of possession afterwards.
Yeah.
You're like, what is going on? Because every good thing that had been working up to that point, we just stopped doing, and that's got to be a mentality thing, and that's got to be something that's wiped out. Confidence, mentality.
When we lose a goal, our confidence goes, and we haven't got to the point like going back to the late 90s, the United and Arsenal years. They knew that if they lost a goal, they'd get a goal back, and they believed that they would do it. But we're not at that stage yet because we haven't had long enough of actually coming back from setbacks. And so I think there's a big confidence thing that we will overcome, and it will overcome it by continuing to do, which is one thing Ange says. Ange says, play like you do. Don't change your play. Continue to do what you do. And I think what he's basically saying to the players is, I've got confidence in you to come back. I've got confidence in you to do what you need to do to come back. And the players haven't yet, they might intellectually know it, but mentally, they emotionally know it. So they lose confidence.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's all part of being a work in progress. I'm pretty sure it's going to come. And I really do think that those four that we've got, or actually all five at the back, you know, Big Vic included, they're fantastic players. I just think we're not there yet. Not there yet in terms of, you know, handling and things like that. And I think, sometimes the person playing number 6, and it has sometimes been Bissouma, hasn't done the tracking back well enough. And I think this will all come, I guess.
Yeah, can we talk about, let's move forward again. I mean, forward in terms of position. Timo Werner. I like him. The guy gives out every game. He keeps running at them. Yes, he's not, you know, the end product is a little bit, although he's putting them in and the players are not finding the ball.
He's putting that ball in the right place over and over. Yeah.
Yes. Second half, Johnson put his hands on his head because he realized he didn't make the run.
Yeah, he didn't gamble. Yeah.
He didn't gamble, exactly. And of course, the first one scored own goal. And then another one where Johnson had a great flick and the goalie made a really good save. So I just want keep Werner. Is he going to get better? Do we like him? What? I like him.
I love him. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what's available on the market, but if there's, I think we'll struggle to find better. But he's
Especially at that price, David.
I mean, I'm super
yeah.
happy with him, but I don't think we need to make any decisions. Like, there's no decision to be made at the moment. Like, but I like him a lot, and he's he's a goal or assist every 2 games since he's been here. That's fantastic stats.
And
Which
the
is his record
stats
he
are
had
getting
before he
better.
joined Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing I read somewhere, I don't know how true it is, but I read that if we wish to take up the option to purchase him, we need to do it before the end of April.
Ah, okay, I didn't know that.
So if that's
so there
true,
is a decision to be made,
then there will be a decision to make. But for me right now, I mean, it looks to be a fairly easy decision because he fits so well into Ange's system. He's contributing so well. The balls he puts in are extremely dangerous. I mean, their own goal yesterday, their guy needed to do something.
Yeah, he had to take action. He couldn't.
He had to take action, and pretty much anything he was going to do was going to end up in an own goal. Yeah. If he'd left it, it would have been snapped up by someone at the far post. So yeah, and I think it's just going to get better as Johnson and he, spend more time playing together, because I think that is the way to go forwards long term. Because I like to see Cooley playing in midfield a bit more.
It was terrible.
They've also built up a relationship, Johnson and Werner.
Yeah.
And in terms of personality of people that you want at the club, Werner is a good guy.
Yeah.
He comes over really, really well. He wants to play for Spurs. And I think we need people at the club who are not big egotists, but people who want to actually be part of the project.
And it's really good when you've got.
I like it when I like our players. I actually like. They seem like good guys, good people. And Timo, indeed, he does fit that. Yeah, fits that profile.
Dave just mentioned another guy. You just said Decky, and what has happened to Decky?
I don't think he knows what he's supposed to be doing anymore. I think he's just confused about where he's supposed to be on the pitch, what he's supposed to do with the ball. I think he's lost a lot of confidence. I mean, late in the second half, he was totally out on his own, cutting in from the left. And he kind of just sort of stumbled over the ball, held it up, waited, and the attack ran out. It was not Decky. I think he's a fantastic player as well, but at the moment his form is off. He's really off his game.
He's been our best player for about 25% of the games this season, but recently he's not been on form at all. So that's definitely got to be looked at, see what's going on. I mean, apparently Napoli are interested in him. They're prepared to pay 55 million for him because they're trying to get Conte in as manager and they want to bring him in to be a nice little fillip for him. It might, if he's going to play like this from now on, 55 million would be very welcome. Thank you very much.
I'm afraid
I think he'll come back.
I hope so.
I think he'll be with us for another 5 or 10 years. I really do. But I tell you a player I want to talk about, Gio Lo Celso. I think he's been really good on a couple of occasions when he's come on late. And I suspect he's buying into Postecoglou's system. But I was really impressed with him when he came on yesterday. He just looked like he wanted to play, and B, he played really, really well.
It's too late though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too late. He's got to go. I mean, we can't rely on him. And it's awful to say. I'm sure he's a really nice guy and stuff, but
no, he's not. He's Argentinian, for goodness' sake, David. He's basically the cunt. Sorry, but
okay, right.
Cunt.
Austin, we're not allowed to say cunt.
Bollocks to that. I'm putting parental guidance on this one. It's fine.
There's also
I'll change the thumbnail. I'll put a big PG parental advisory thing on there.
I think he's Ramiro's stepfather, to be quite honest. But I mean, what do I know?
No, but Austin, he's done well, yeah. But the thing is, he'll do well for a couple of games, and then sadly for him, it's not his fault, but he's going to get injured again. I just feel like we can't rely on him. He's been here 4 years now.
He's
There's a
got
big
one more
tournament.
year of his contract, left.
Yeah,
So
and I
4 years.
just think I think it's too little, too late. I mean, he's
There's a big-
doing well for quarter of an hour.
There's a
at the
big
end of a
tournament
match.
going on here in America this summer. It's called the Copa America, which is usually just South American teams, but they invite guest teams, and the US and Canada and Mexico have all been invited. So Argentina will be there. So Gio obviously wants to start. So he's hepped up because he wants to be in the team. It makes a lot of sense. And Uruguay will be there. So Bentancur will be here playing here this summer as well.
No, you're going to get tickets.
If there's any at the Rose Bowl, yeah. But I don't know what the
The really interesting thing is that Argentina love him. Argentinian national team, they absolutely love him because he's so integral to what it is they do. But he's such a small piece of what we do. He could have done so much more. When he first joined us, he was a magnificent player. And when we had him and Lamella on the pitch together, it was like Dark Arts Incorporated. It was fantastic to watch them.
I love Coco.
Oh, Coco's
I
great.
love Coco as well.
Yeah, but like ever since then, he's just dropped off. The only good period he's had in the Spurs was when he's been on loan, and then he's been brilliant. There was stats doing around over the last few years. There's only one player that's had a comparable season to Rodri at Manchester City, and that's Lo Celso when he was out on loan.
Yeah, I mean it's disappointing. I would have loved him to have succeeded. We needed him to succeed because he was one of the players. We spunked a bunch of money on him.
For me, it fits into the category if Ange wants him next season and he stays, I'd be very happy. If Ange doesn't want him and he goes, then that's a shame. But I just love the guy. I've had negatives about him. I've had arguments with people on CADS about him saying he just hasn't done it. But I just like the look of him now under Ange. And if Ange wants him, then I'd be delighted for him to stay.
Yeah, I don't mind if he stays. Well, I do mind if he stays. He takes up a squad place, and he's not available often enough. So I'd like him to go.
So does Brian Hill, and he's not even on the bench.
Neither
Hill has to go.
Neither Skippy, sadly.
Skip's not even on the bench, huh?
No.
Well,
what happened to? He fell off. He fell off the table.
Injuries. He suffered from just a succession of small niggling injuries after one big one.
It was after his pubis. Was it his pubis that
pubis.
he had an injury and he hasn't not been the same since?
Yeah, he had surgery on his pubis, not the Steve Malbranc kind of surgery on your pubis, but surgery on your pubis. Yeah,
I had that one. I had to have it reduced.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there are definitely players that will be moving on this summer. Some that we would like to go. Some that probably need to move on for their own sake. Austin's still laughing. Austin's turning a lovely colour for those of you at home.
It's just David. He's just cracked me up.
I got fed up. I just got fed up with people calling me tripod. I just, it just.
In terms of players that are leaving, Gil's got to go, surely.
Yep.
Not because he hasn't got the ability. He does. He has plenty of ability. No, he does. He does. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work in the Premier League. For me, he's got great technical skills. For me, he's a number 10, but he's never going to play number 10 for us. And he hasn't got the pace or the explosiveness to play wide in the Premier League. And you need to have that. You can get away with it in Spain because it's slightly slower and, the trickery and the technical side of it comes into it more. But in the Premier League, if you're going to play wide, you need to be quick and you need to have that burst to get past people.
I just don't, I have, again, nothing against Brian Hill, but I just never want to see him do his Ronaldo step overs and then just run straight into the opposition player. It's just that's all he does.
If you compare Hill with Timo Werner, Werner says, right, I'm going to show you the ball, then I'm going to push it past you and I'm going to run past you. And he does it and he crosses the ball and it goes into the middle and whatever happens.
Yeah.
Hill is lovely to watch. He's what you'd call in the old days a sort of fancy Dan. He's got lovely movement, but it's not effective, unfortunately. And much as I like him and I enjoy watching him aesthetically, he's not effective.
No, he's not effective. And I just don't think he hasn't matured, actually. He hasn't grown.
No.
I think that's the main problem, isn't it, really?
He's not grown as a player.
I mean, do you remember,
maybe
this is
that's
an
the
unfair
difference.
comparison, but do you remember Modric's like first months with us?
Yeah.
And everybody's going, God blimey, he's so tiny, he's just getting knocked off the ball all the time. And then, a year later, it's just like you can't shift the geezer. He's just on the ball, and you barge him, you can push him, do anything you like, and he's still there.
He was dominating Gerrard in games.
Yeah. Hill hasn't done that. Obviously, it's a totally unfair comparison because one of the best midfielders in the world. But,
No, Hill's going to go, I'm sure. Skip, unfortunately, may be a player to leave, whether it's on loan or long term.
That'd break my heart.
Lo Celso, I think Lo Celso has to go simply because it's our last chance of getting any money for him, and I don't see him being an integral part of the side. And Ndombele, I'd love to see him go. I mean, I had such high hopes from him. I had the same kind of feeling when we signed him as I did when we got Modric. I was like, how have we got this guy? But he's just not lived up to anybody's expectations. He's been absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently Galatasaray have been offered the chance to buy him for €5 million and still said no. So that says a lot about him.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I think he's one that's going to look. I don't know. I expect he's going to look back on his career and go, "Oh, well, that was a waste," or it might be that he's just like a David Bentley type, just doesn't really like the game.
He's on something like 300 grand a week, so he's doing.
Oh, he likes the money.
Likes the money and the burgers it buys. Yeah.
But it is sad when you see, even when I don't have a particularly strong emotional bond with him, like for example, Dele Alli. Seeing Dele is just looked like he's washed up now. Like he's been injured again. You have to wonder whether we'll ever see him back at the top level, and that really hurts.
I'd love to see Dele come back, even for Everton. I mean,
no,
I'd love the guy. He's part of Spurs folklore.
Yeah, I think he needs to drop a division and then rebuild.
He's still got time. He's what, 28,
he's
29?
27, I think.
He's got time in his career to do that. One thing I did like, I don't know if you saw the Sonny video where they were celebrating his 400th appearance for Spurs.
I posted it.
Yeah, the one thing I really did like was seeing how healthy Dele Alli looked. He looked positively healthy in that. He looked fantastic. I was a bit worried about Kevin Wimmer though, because he did not look healthy.
But he's not an elite level athlete anymore.
Well, no. Was he ever? But
I think what's he playing in the Isle of Wight, 3rd division now? Something.
No idea where he is. Austrian football, maybe.
No, I don't think it's even Austrian. I think it's.
He and Sonny were big friends.
That's why he was in the video.
Still are.
It was lovely.
Was the video that Austin said he posted it on CADS?
Yeah, it's on CADS.
It's on the Spurs website, Ash, and there's a longer version on the Spurs website than the one I posted on CADS, and it shows some of the goals that Sonny scored, and it's a really nice video. It's worth seeing if you can get it.
Kevin Wimmer is with Slovan Bratislava, so there you go.
Well, there's a team from the past. They were big in the 60s.
You can say that. I wasn't even born, so I wouldn't know.
All right. There's absolutely no need. There's no need for that, Stuart. Thank you.
I'm just stating facts here. That's all I'm gonna. It's all I'm here for.
Let's talk about
you can wipe the bloody smile off your face as well, Stu.
Let's talk about the upcoming game, because then we got a 2-week break after that.
Which one? We've got a horrible run.
Newcastle.
We've got a horrible run. We got Newcastle first. And then we've got a 2-week break before we play them, the Gunners.
At home,
thankfully. But it's a Sunday early afternoon kickoff. It's one of those that's never, I don't like that kickoff time. And then we've got a wonderful period where we play on the 28th, we play Arsenal. On the 2nd of May, we play Chelsea. On the 5th of May, we play Liverpool. That is a horrible run.
So Arsenal, and then a midweek game, and then a Saturday, Sunday game. Yeah.
So Arsenal on the Sunday.
We'll have our squad
Arsenal on Sunday.
Chelsea match.
Yeah, probably.
Go ahead, Stu. Arsenal on Sunday, then Chelsea when?
Chelsea Thursday evening.
Thursday.
And then and then Liverpool Sunday. So 3 really big games in the space of 7 days.
Then
but
don't we
Richie
have
will be
City,
back.
don't we
Richie
have
will be
City
back
next
then.
after that, Stu?
No,
I think we've still got to fit City in there somewhere. It's still not been arranged.
they'll
Hasn't it?
probably
Okay.
be in the last midweek before the end of the season. There's
Yeah, because then we've got Burnley and Sheffield United. So yeah, there's got to be fit in there somewhere.
going to be between those.
Yeah, because we've got an 8-day gap between the Burnley game and the Sheffield United game. But they've got a fairly busy calendar right now. So it's probably more difficult for them to fit it in.
Yeah,
Maybe they should
true.
just not turn up and give us the 3 points.
There you go.
I'm going to be really curious to see how, because it feels like we've been through this patch of about 10 games of sort of middling lower teams, a lot of them playing low block and stuff. I'm going to be curious to see how we play against a team that tries to play football.
Ash, I'm going to warn you here. If you mention the word 500 team, I'm going to mute you for a good 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No more 500 team for today. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I just prefer saying a team that actually tries to play football. Which is really sort of it's a bit demeaning for some of the other teams, but do you know what I mean? Like someone that comes out and attacks us, I've got no idea what it'll be like. I've got no idea whether we'll stand out and and it'll be good for us, or whether we'll just get a hammering. Early season, we were doing pretty well against those sorts of teams. What have we turned into in the ensuing months? I don't think we'll know until the end of the season. I just don't think we'll know. It'll be good if we've still got all our players. I'd like to have Richie back. I think Richie could be really useful. Because he was going through a purple patch before he started having those niggling injuries. So yeah, and it was kind of like his opportunity to try and put a marker down on the number 9 shirt for next season. Because if he doesn't, then I think we'll be looking for another striker.
Oh, I think we're looking for another striker.
Yeah.
Talking of strikers, I like the look of Dane Scarlett. I was only on for a few minutes yesterday, and I watched him for the kids a few times. I have a sinking feeling he's actually going to come good. There's just something about him I like.
Well, he's had a growth spurt, hasn't he?
Sorry?
He's got big. He's He's
bulky as heck.
Whereas when we first saw him, he was a very slight little thing, but now he's a big boy.
But to be honest, I found it hard to tell much about him from the few minutes he got yesterday, because I don't think he had anything to go on really. He's not going to be for next season, that's for sure. I think next season would be really good if he could get a proper loan, and a loan where he plays. Maybe Manchester City would need to loan him once they've been relegated to the 4th division.
Wow. Having said that, Everton have been docked a further 2 points today, and yet still no sign of when anything is going to be decided with Manchester City.
No, I think somebody said on CADS that there's been the date's been set for, maybe it was a joke, August 25.
Yeah, I think that was a joke.
No,
I had April.
Put that down.
Yeah, I had April, but I'm beginning to have zero confidence that the FA are going to get any kind of handle on this. So, or the Premier League, whoever's handling it, or not handling it, as the case may be. It's got to be really difficult to fix. There's so many charges, so many significant charges. It's not
like, come on, something like that, you break it up into manageable pieces, and you take 10 of the charges, like the earliest ones, and you try them, and you dot them points, and then you go, oh, if I find out that the next 10 you've done the same thing, it's going to be more severe, and then every 10 points, and then you just take it bit by bit. You don't wait until the year 4000, like post June, to put a penalty on them, because it's just meaningless. Why? What's the point? Why are they having to try 115 charges across 15 years? Go back 15 years, take the first 3 years and try them right now, and then take the next.
Rather than docking them points, I would rather take trophies away from them that they won by cheating, which might mean that we get a trophy.
It's more like to mean that Arsenal get a trophy, but you know what? I know this doesn't go down very well when I say it, but I feel fierce rivalry with Arsenal, and I enjoy it. And they're our rivals, and of course I hate them. But I absolutely flipping
Well done.
loathe Manchester City. I hate Manchester City and Chelsea much more than I hate Arsenal. I have
Yeah.
intense rivalry with Arsenal, and it's good fun. Those two teams are just fucking up football. Sorry.
You're doing so well. No, I mean their effect on football is just negative.
Yeah.
You know, they brought some great players in, and you could look and you can say that's the positive. But how did they bring those players in? Through some fairly dodgy dealing, by the introduction of money that has come from outside the game, and you know, effectively it's financial doping.
And also, if I may say so,
You may.
Pep Fraudiola,
Fraudiola,
old
I knew you were going to come out. Yeah.
I remember him saying, if it's proved that there's been shenanigans and stuff, then I'm leaving. Well, it has been proved. It was proved by UEFA. It's just they got off on a technicality, but it was proved. So he shouldn't even be at Manchester City anymore if he was a man of his word. But he's a fraud anyway. So balls to him. I really hate them. So I don't care if it means that Arsenal, win a title. Good for them. At least they're like an actual real club.
How dare you?
No, I know.
You not ever say that.
I know, but seriously, I just hate.
You're a frog. You live in Paris. We're not listening to you anymore. That's quite enough. Arsenal are never going to win the Premiership, in my opinion. Full stop.
No, not the Premiership. That's Scotland.
I told someone the other day that I'm not British anymore. I'm British.
Oh.
Yeah, so Oz, who would you rather win it? You want Liverpool to win it then? If you don't want City and you don't want Arsenal, who do you want to win it?
No, I hate Liverpool with a passion. I'd far rather City won it because it might get taken away from them if we ever have justice. But I don't want Arsenal to win, and I don't want Liverpool to win. I've got a son-in-law. My youngest daughter is going out with a Liverpool supporter. Half the people they know are Liverpool supporters, and this is in North Yorkshire, not even in Lancashire, for goodness sake.
But Austin, you're the one that brought them up that way.
I did not. They rebelled against me.
This reflects very badly on you, I have to say.
I think it reflects very. Look, my son supports Tottenham.
Look, I'm not saying anything, but I divorced their mother, and it cost me a fortune. All right.
Just while I say it, one of the best things about yesterday's match was going to see that with my son. That was a fantastic father-son moment. It was his first time seeing Tottenham live. It was the first time seeing a match live. It was absolutely brilliant. We had a fantastic time. It was his birthday present, and it was a good one. 24.
Wow, first time. Wow.
Yeah.
Good for
He
you.
didn't care about football till 2 years ago, and then he's just gone football crazy.
Oh, I would like to see that kind of turnaround.
Right?
Sorry?
He is a Spurs fan, right?
Massive Spurs fan. Makes it really easy for me to wind him up as well.
My 8-year-old tells me he doesn't like football, but his first sentence was "Come on, you Spurs." So
that's
hey!
good.
Yeah.
Good.
To be fair, I was like all the time there with him. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, Teddy, say it.
I got to ask you one quick question. What's that Harlem shirt you're wearing?
It's a t-shirt.
I know.
It's a t-shirt purchased from a cheap clothing store. It's just
hello. It was my book.
Yeah, honestly, it was absolutely not done. But next week I'll try and wear a Hollywood t-shirt just to make it better for you.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Blatant advertising.
We've had one piece of advertising in 2 years, so it's not too bad.
Oh wait, hang on a minute then.
It's coming out on Amazon this month.
Dave has an album. What's the name of the album, Dave?
It's Up All Night is the name of the album.
And I wrote about it.
And you actually wrote a lovely piece about it, for which I again thank you.
Good evening, gents. How are you guys?
Very
fine.
Good.
Late.
About an hour late, yeah.
The daylight savings caught me out.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, while we're going through things that we have released and we're doing, I have an audiobook up on YouTube if anybody's interested, called Beyond the Final Echo. So there you go, have a look at that.
Oh, no, I was going to ask you, are you gonna be putting that on any other platform? Because YouTube is a total pain in the rear end.
If any other platform wishes to come to me and say they want it on there, then I'm very happy to do so.
I mean, why wouldn't you put it on SoundCloud, for example, or something like that, which is free?
Do SoundCloud do audiobooks?
Why wouldn't it? It's just audio.
Yeah, maybe I'll put it up on SoundCloud. Maybe we'll have a
just
look.
An idea, because I don't have a YouTube subscription, so I'm not going to sit in front of my computer and have it on.
Wade through advertising, right?
Yeah.
Or Spotify. Maybe Spotify.
Well, Spotify have to pay.
Advertising on Spotify as well.
I've got YouTube Premium, so I don't have to pay. I don't have to watch the advertising. Yeah, I use it.
Yeah, but on podcasts you get the adverts.
Am I too late to plug then, or is it like you have to attend at least an hour of the?
Yeah. Sorry, you should have been here.
Send me any links you want me to put in, and I'll put them in the box below the comment. So yeah.
No, that's cool. I've opened the channel though.
Mr. A
YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. There's some great stuff on it.
Yeah. It's weird though, because I never planned to do video, so I've so far posted only the videos that I've had, but didn't pay much attention to them. So in the future, I'll actually go out and take videos. But yeah, it's not bad. I've got like 30,000 views in a week. So
that's very good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Which is weird. Like the best ones don't seem to do anything, and like the silliest thing taken on a cell phone camera, it blows up. So I haven't figured it out yet.
You should post your photographs
to YouTube.
Yes, you'll do videos instead of photographs.
With music overlay.
Because some of your photographs are stunning.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting there.
Fantastic, yeah.
Hopefully, Ash will tell you that in September, when Criminal Minds releases on Disney and Paramount, there's one of my photos is on set, so I'm not allowed to post it. I'm not allowed to post about it yet. But the day it is, then I can do it. It's two elephants in the Masai Mara having a boxing match in black and white, and it's on set, and it's on Joe Mantega's character's office, the wall.
You could post it in CADS, Adesh, because that's a private group, so no one would see it.
Yeah, I don't want to piss anybody off. Somebody sends it off. But
tell you what, when it goes up on the TV, send me a screenshot of the thing, and I'll actually put it in the video, the intro. Just to celebrate.
I will. How was your chat though? Yeah, miss anything?
We're still going.
Interesting.
We're still going. You are live.
I can contribute.
on YouTube. So we talked about the game. We've talked about the upcoming matches, which is difficult. Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and then Burnley, and then Sheffield United. So out of those 6 games, well, we've got Man City in there as well. 7 games left.
Only Man City.
6 of those. 7 games left. 6 of those, the teams will be coming out and trying to play football against us, because however low Burnley are, they will try and play football against us. So I'm looking forward to an enjoyable end of season. Maybe not lots of points because we've got tough teams to play, but should be enjoyable matches.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to have a bit of jeopardy. Although it feels like we're never out of jeopardy.
Never out of
I guess that's all part and parcel of actually supporting a club that actually is a club instead of a billionaire's plaything.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Newcastle will be a nice test because they are Isak and Gordon and Bruno can really hurt us, where other teams haven't really punished us in the last few weeks. Those guys could really hurt us.
Well, has their form come back? Has Newcastle's form come back up? Like
Not
since
really.
we played them?
Not sure.
Because they look wiped out when we played them. And gave them a bit of a tonking, to be honest. They looked exhausted and not there anymore. And it was during a period where we weren't playing particularly well, and I think it gave us a false impression of being really good. They were that bad.
Yeah,
their
let's hope it
form
stays
is
that way.
exactly the same as ours. Last 5 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
Okay.
So yes,
That's not bad, though. I think it'll be an interesting game because I think Eddie Howe might fall, as much as he likes and at Bournemouth and stuff. He was playing front foot football. He's not averse to the low block, especially with the players that they have. Bruno can pick a pass, and they've got fast players. So, yeah, let's see. Maybe we stress them out in the first half and take advantage in the second, like we seem to do so often.
Yeah.
Well, we are a 45-minute side at the moment. It'd be nice to put together 2 halves of the game of equal quality, top level quality, not that level quality. Yeah,
I think, like, for me, it's just that even if we're not, we can't sustain it over 90 minutes, but that when we do drop off, we drop off so badly. Like, even if we can just drop off not as badly, it would be a huge improvement. It just seems like we just lose total control for a 20-minute period, and it's awful. And if even if somebody else is dominating, then if we were able to see it out until we get our mojo back without looking so vulnerable, that would be a massive improvement. So I think that would be a sign of progress. I take that.
Yeah, I think we were saying the same thing earlier on. So certainly David was, but his manner of saying it had some fucking and different other words in it as well. So
yeah,
sorry,
I've given up on doing this one.
He was very fucking rude, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
Ashley's put his invisibility cloak on again. I wish he'd stop doing that.
Borrowed it from Rupert Grint.
Yeah.
Dear me. All right, gents, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. We will be back on the 14th of April, same time as always, 8 p.m, the day after a match. And yeah, it should be good. Let's enjoy the football. Let's enjoy these last few games of the season. And as always, everyone, come on, you Spurs.
Stuart, just so you can edit something.
Yeah? Fuck you too.